Hello and welcome back to some Baldur's Gate 3. Today we're going to be kind of redoing what we did last video in a sense. I tried the Paladin um, both in that video and then kind of on my own off video, and the oath system in Baldur's Gate 3 really doesn't fly with me, so today we're actually going to be starting a Bard. So I figured I'd start and run through the most of the character creation process. I've already done the appearance for it, just to kind of save time on that. But I wanted to go through the specifics for spells and background and starting abilities. So we are going to be starting. We are going to be doing human. Um, no particular reason. I was between human and half elf for shield proficiencies. So it just kind of works out. And the spear proficiency is nice too. I'll probably do spear shield for weapons. This is not going to be like a swords bard multi-class with as many attacks as humanly possible. This is going to be a lore bard setup for full caster support utility type character. I've got some other builds I've got planned for the other party members. So, and this is what I kind of needed to fill in the party. So that's what we're going to be doing. So, like I said, we're going to be going human for the race, and then we've got the Bard class, and then we're going to pick our cantrips. So I like Vicious Mockery. If a creature, if the creature fails a save, they get disadvantage on their next attack roll. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but giving a creature disadvantage on its next attack roll, that's always nice. Blade Ward is good, but we're not going to be taking that to start. I like Mage Hand. Mage Hand has a ton of utility in this game. So I love having that. For spells, we're going to keep Healing Word and Dissonant Whispers. I'm not going to take Tasha's Hideous Laughter yet, and I'm not taking Heroism at all. So I like to go Long Strider. So Long Strider is a first level spell that, as you can see, increases a creature's movement speed by 3 meters and this lasts until you long rest. But the nice thing about it is that it's a ritual spell. So ritual spells don't consume spell slots if you cast them outside of combat. It's same concept in tabletop as well, although the duration is different in tabletop. But yeah, so Long Strider, super good. Basically makes it so your party always has an extra 3 meters of movement. That's very nice for your melees who need to get, 2 enemies to deal any damage. It's nice for your casters who need to get as far away as possible. It's just all around great. As for another spell, there's so many different options that are great. Bane is a great spell to have, especially if you're more on the debuffing enemies. Cure Wounds isn't bad if you can get in range to cast it. Disguise Self has its uses. Fairy Fire is really good. Featherfall is another good one. Thunder Wave, because if you haven't seen the memes yet, Shove is like the best. It's the strongest thing you can do in the game, is just to push an enemy off a cliff. Costs you loot, but it takes care of them pretty instantly. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is another good one, actually. If the creature has high enough intelligence, and they fail to save, they just get knocked prone. And prone means they're lying on the ground. Melee attacks against prone creatures have advantage, which is it makes them easier to hit. It's very good. Sleep is another good one. But I'm probably going to take Speak with Animals. I love interacting with the animals throughout the course of the game. I think, in my opinion, honestly, some of the animal characters in the game have some of the best voice acting throughout it, and you kind of miss that if you don't have Speak with Animals. As well, it's just you know, it can make for some really humorous dialogue and open up some new quests and stuff. So that's, you know, that's always a good time. Yeah, you can get it through the use of potions as well, but this just makes it so I don't have to spend money on buying those or waiting until I find them in the early game. Speak with Animals is also a ritual spell, so you cast it outside of combat. Doesn't consume any spell slots. Starting instrument doesn't really matter what if you know if you like something different, pick it. I'm gonna go with lute. Like I I used to play guitar, so this is the closest thing I get to having that. So for background, we are gonna go entertainer. The acrobatics and performance proficiencies from it are very, very nice. Charlatan is also a good option as well. I'm with the idea I have for the character, the way that I'm going to play it out. Charlatan doesn't really fit. Entertainer is more the idea. But really, any background kind of works with whatever you really want to do. It's just kind of what proficiencies you want to have to start with. And for stats, all right. So we're gonna dump intelligence and strength. So we're gonna set those to 8. Charisma. Charisma will set at 16, so we can get these. No, actually, that works. We'll just go with the baseline this, because there's a feat later that I might take, which increases charisma by 1, which will get me to 18, and then I can use another ability score improvement level to cap that at 20, which works. For actual skills, I don't really use stealth. I will take sleight of hand though, because I don't plan on running another dex-based character that would be able to fill this role, so being able to lockpick and everything would be quite nice. Some good skills to have actually are perception. Survival is another really good one. There are a lot of chests buried in the ground throughout the game, and as you run by them, if you pass a survival check, you will reveal them so you can dig them up. So having at least one person with survival in the party is never a bad idea. Nature's not bad either. There are some decent nature checks in the game. And I always like having either athletics if I'm strength-based or acrobatics if I'm dex-based, because that helps you with resisting being shoved, as you can see in the tooltip there. Athletics, however, helps you shove, so as much as it says anyway. I don't know if acrobatics does the same. But yeah, so for Bard and kind of Sorcerer as well, they're both charisma classes. So the charisma skills, deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion are all really good to have, because you're going to have a high charisma stat, so you're going to get the best bonuses in those skills. So we have all 4 of these. We get performance from the background. We've picked deception and intimidation and sleight of hand from the 3 class skills. And then we also get persuasion, because as a human we get an extra skill proficiency wherever we want. So we'll put that into persuasion. And there we go. We're all set up. So just to go over it one more time, quickly, the race is human. We are playing the Bard class. We are taking Vicious Mockery and Mage Hand for cantrips. For first level spells, to start with, we have Healing Word, Dissonant Whispers, Long Strider, and Speak with Animals. Speak with Animals, I think, it is just a personal thing I like to do. I definitely think there's a lot better options, but this is not a min-maxed, do the absolute best that we can. This is just, you know, a playthrough to have some fun with and have a good time. Starting instrument loot, this can be anything you want. It doesn't matter. I just prefer the loot myself. Entertainer background, again, there's many other options. Outlander, Charlatan, Guild Artisan even, Folk Hero, there's, you know, Urchin, there's lots of great options. It just really depends on what you want for skill proficiencies. And then this will be my ability spread. So we'll have 8 strength, 16 dex, 14 con, 8 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 17 charisma. That looks to be good for now. Appearance, we're all done with that. So we'll just enter our name here. We're going to go with Xander. And we don't really need to do any of this, so we'll do that. I am going to skip this video because I've done it a few times in other videos. So you can always just check one of those other videos out if you want to watch the intro. I'm sure other people also just have the intro for the game up on their channel by this point. So I won't skip anything else. Any other content like of the game will be displayed. I won't skip through dialogue or anything like that. And we're off to the races. All right, this going. Loot him. There is a chest up here if you haven't found it before. Usually contains some gold and a random item. Over here there is another chest on the other side, so you can kind of run over here and collect that. Might as well follow the character. There is also a jewel on this table here. We'll grab that on the way back.
Have to keep going.
Now, I will say the only big downside of starting human, and this can actually impact you later on depending on where you go throughout the game, is that humans do not innately get dark vision, which is the ability to see in a darkened area. They have no ability to do so naturally, so it's you can run into situations where you can't hit a creature because you can't see them. There are some items to assist with that as you get later, but it's really, don't let that dissuade you if that's kind of the route you want to go. It's not that big of a deal. There's many ways to get a light source to correct that. All right. Let's see how our first rolls of the game go.
Come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return. A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You know no creature like this. One that is more brain than person.
Alright, we'll go with the first option.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
And then we're obviously going to take the dex option because, like I said, we dumped strength and intelligence, and investigation is an intelligence skill, so only chance we have, our best chance really, is using the dex option. So let's see how we do. Ooh, very nice roll to start off.
The brain lifts from the skull, but you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient should it prove a threat.
We're not gonna cripple it. Yeah, I mean, you totally can, but it kind of hinders your... It hinders you a little bit if you want to do the big fight at the end of this, so I always go with no.
You're free. Our freedom is ours, friend.
The creature pauses, listening. Something behind your eyes seizes in recognition.
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are needed.
In the interest of saving time, the dialogue options go a little bit, but not too far. So we'll just go with the first option.
To the helm we go. We are going to the helm.
Do I have? I don't even have a melee weapon. Lovely. I want a dragon.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
What made you think I was a thrall?
We carry mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Gaith, mind flayers.
What do you suggest?
First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. As for that thing, it will remain tame as long as it believes we are thralls. It may be of use in the fight to come.
Ooh, pretty high initiative. Alright. Oh, I forgot to put a long strider on. Go me. Okay, so we can do a lot more damage right now. Damage is really all you need in the early game. So we're just gonna use our hand crossbow. Upgrading that. We might as well loot a couple things while we're here. Just go over here. He can go over here and try to deal with this one. Oh, 1 HP, the classic.
Taking position.
She not really. Alright. She'll have disadvantage on that, so that sucks. Yeah, still hits him. Good enough. Generally speaking, you don't run up when you're using a ranged attack. You stay as far back as you can without giving yourself distance disadvantage, because weapons do have a max range that they can fire from. And there we go.
Very well.
You proved surprisingly
If you're just starting, or you don't,
Now,
or you have been playing for a bit and you're not aware of this, if you hold Alt on the keyboard, I have no idea what it is for controller. it will show you everything of of importance on the ground or interactable. Not always everything. It's still good to hover over stuff and check, but just for a general idea, you can kind of just hold Alt and away you go. Aha, a weapon. We'll equip that. What do we got? Rapier. Good enough. Yeah, so I'm still on the fence about how we're gonna do the full build. I want to generally avoid respecking as much as possible. The middle button starts a fight for more experience, by the way, of this console, so that's always good to know. Hey, crit. And we'll go over here. And we'll dash so we can actually get to him, because we otherwise can't hit him. And 3 damage. We are on Tactician, by the way, if I didn't mention that. So, this will be a little tougher than normal. I have already played through the game once before. I did it as a monk rogue mix, because that's not busted or nothing. But it was fun. You know, it was a great time. Now, let's talk to her and get this rolling.
Get me out of this, Captain! We have no time for stragglers.
We'll look for a latch that might open
The
the lid.
construction is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
I'll go look around.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
Alright, now this is important if you want to get some extra XP. If you right click or just select this Nautiloid tank here, you can actually pick it up, and then you can use that in the fight that's coming up to kind of get a bunch of damage off. No, we'll go over here first. Also, something to note, there is, where is it? There's an intellect devourer, one of these brain things, running around here. We'll see him eventually. But if you attack him, the intellect devourer that you have with you, that you potentially freed earlier, there he is, will also turn hostile. So it never used to be like that, but it is now, and it kind of sucks because it used to be just, you know, some extra XP. But yeah, so back there we got the rune for the console here to free the woman in the pod, and then we also got the key to open this chest for some extra money. There is also, right here, if you alt or whatever, highlight the area, you can find a necklace that's just a little extra money as well.
The console appears dormant.
There's a socket in the console.
The console hums to life.
How convenient. You can do the Arcana check. I'm no good with intelligence rolls, so I don't bother with it. I just try to get through this as fast as I can.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. A parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
And then we'll do the roll to will the pod to open. We're not great at wisdom throws, but it's not a hard roll to get. succeeded.
mechanical brain of the console process your command.
And for anybody wondering, you can fail that roll, which I have before. And when that happens, the pod just doesn't open, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you have to find a new way to get the pod open.
At last. Thought I was done for.
All right.
Thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a gift with you.
You keep dangerous company.
We'll go with the third option.
I did. It must be because of those parasites they put in us. They'll have to wait. We need to get off this ship alive first. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
All right, then, let's get going.
Shadowheart. One moment.
What's that?
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
All right. I have never done a playthrough where I didn't get Shadowheart, but I'm sure I will eventually. What I like to do, because clerics are prepared casters, unlike bards. Bards are not. They are known casters. Prepared casters can change their spells at any time outside of combat. So one thing I like to do, especially for this fight coming up, I remove Inflict Wounds, and I put on Command. So Command is a great spell that allows you to just hit it, you target someone, and there's a list of commands that you choose before you cast it. One of them is like drop their weapon, or lay down, or whatever the other options are. And it's awesome. It's particularly useful for what we have coming up. Hopefully we can land it, because I'm not going to save scum for this. So, there we go. Do I have anything? Am I missing anything important? No. Just that. We're all full health, so we're good there.
We are nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Cane yank.
Yeah, we get the little auto save. All right.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the gate after we escape.
Connect the nerves. Nerves. We will connect them.
Yeah, if this is your first time seeing Tactician, yeah, he has multi-attack. It sucks a lot. That's why we kind of take command, because the chances are very high that we're not killing him for his weapon. So we take command so we can make him drop his weapon, and then we go pick it up, and we dip. We dip real hard, because there's no. He's got too much health, and he does too much damage to the Mind Flayer to really warrant being able to kill him reliably. I'm sure some people can do it. I'm not one of those people. Alright, so head over here. And yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So we have our spells here, so we hit command, and then a list pops up. So the different lists that the different options that we've got approach. So it makes the creature just move towards you on its turn and do nothing else. Drop is the one we want. Drops its weapon and does nothing else. Flee just makes it run away. Fall prone just lies down. And this just makes it not do anything. So here we go. 55% chance. Here's hope. Oh, thank God. We will go over here and grab these two nautiloid tanks here on the side. No, I'm out of range of that, so we'll just attack him for some whatever. Now, one thing to note that is actually important about command is most other enemies, including other enemies here in the intro, will just pick their weapon back up if you don't take it from them beforehand. He will not, however. For whatever reason, he doesn't do that. So you're free to take a turn or two, whatever you gotta do just to get there and get his weapon. It is worth getting.
Another step forward.
If only because. All right, sweet. Gave him disadvantage on his next attack. Yeah, it is worth getting, if only because it's very basic, but it's also the best weapon you're gonna get in Act 1.
Make way.
Now we're gonna. I can't reach it. Out of movement. I'll grab it next turn. Yeah, so it's called the Everburn Blade. It's a great sword, so it does 2d6 worth of damage. It also does an extra 1d4 of fire damage. So you get 3 dice rolls for damage, plus your strength modifier or whatever that might be, when you use it. So there is one weapon that does compare that you get later towards the end of Act 1, but it's pretty much it's a very unique weapon in that it only affects Githyanki.
Hurry before they strike.
Alright. Can I reach? I can reach with this. Oh, I can reach with this. Better hit chance, more damage. 1 HP. A lot of that. We're gonna disengage first. The big reason is because when you are in melee range of something and you leave its melee range without disengaging, they get a free attack against you called an attack of opportunity. Now, like I said, he's got too much HP. Oh, see, there it is. Because the pathing is just awesome on this. So we're not going to equip it or anything right now. We're just going to hand it to my main character. And then we're going to put all the nautiloid tanks that we picked up. There should be 4 of them. We're going to put those in Lae'zel's inventory. And then drop those on the ground and set them up. So they're all here. So the way you want to set them up, there's, you know, various ways of doing it, of course. I just like to kind of just whatever. So the goal that I do when I do this is I set it up not... I'm not trying to kill Commander Zulk, the Cambion here, because he's got too much health in Tactician. So it's not reasonable that the explosions are going to take him out. What I aim to do is I'm aiming to kill the Mind Flayer, because that will net me enough experience to be a reasonable chunk into level 2 once the tutorial's over.
Let's finish this.
So Shadowheart is going to be the one that will detonate all these because she has Firebolt, which if you hit something that's combustible with fire damage, it's going to explode. Who would have thought, right? But yeah, so just at this point, picking off the extra ads that spawn in the back here. There are 2 more Cambions that spawn in, and they hurt. They are an example that you can bring, like if you start as a cleric, and then you get Shadowheart, you can actually have 4 total uses of command. So you can just make everybody drop their weapons, which is, you know, amazing. But the other 2 Cambions, if you don't collect their weapons after they drop them, they'll just pick them back up on their turn. So it's kind of a waste of a spell slot.
My path be true.
We're going to run Lazelle over here so she doesn't die. Is there anything else that she kind of just has that I want? Yeah, I want her potions. I also want her supply pack. I'm going to give it to Shadowheart. And I want this for money.
Let's end this.
Target this imp. Perfect. 1 little enemy left. You can stand right about here. I mean, you can stand further back too. I like to do that just because sometimes if you go down those little steps, it likes to be real rude and say that, you know, you've got to like move to cast a spell, which no fun for anybody. Alright. Let's get rid of this last dude and then move up to get ready. Oh, perfect. We're still gonna move up. Collect this stuff for money. Alright. And it's the other Cambion's turn. Yeah, there's 2 of them and they each have, what, 106 health apiece. You're not meant to kill everything here. That's why there's a turn counter to tell you to get out, right? And it's okay if you don't kill everything, especially on Tactician.
Taste my fury.
There.
My faith will protect me.
Okay. We're gonna let the Mind Flayer get a little lower. Like I said, I'll probably just run here and stay there with Shadowheart. Because what I can do, because of how the turn order is, I can set Lazelle up to hit the transponder, so I can just move. I can go over here and loot this body or whatever. And then just move here. It doesn't matter. End my turn. Let the other one go. Yeah, so we'll put Lazelle here. How much health does he have? He doesn't have enough. So we're gonna detonate it now. So here we go.
Moving.
Alright. Move him up here. End the turn. It's Lae'zel's turn. She activates the transponder. We're done. Hindsight being what it was, if I hadn't got good enough rolls, I probably could have put the Everburn Blade on Lae'zel and probably have killed him with that explosion, just by taking a couple turns to deal damage. I definitely wouldn't have been able to deal with the other two not mind flayers, Cambions that came, but you know, it would have been some nice extra XP. Doesn't matter in the long run. You'll hit the level cap long before you're done the game if you're just kind of doing things. So, set the transponder and get out of here.
The Helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
I know it's meant to show the dragon for just, you know, some effect, but in tabletop, if a dragon breathes fire on you at level 1, you'd be rolling new characters. You would not be knocked back.
As you wait, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
Check myself for some
Other than
injuries.
the infection, you're more or less intact. A miracle, given everything you've been through. But it'll all be for nothing if you don't find help soon. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Alright. So we have our level up. We'll do that here in a moment. We'll just go up here first. Get the loot. And lo and behold, there's Shadowheart. Will be nice. We'll wake her.
You're alive. I'm alive. How is this possible?
Ooh, a bard option. I like that. We'll go with that one.
The Divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible. First things first. We need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
We want to stay together.
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Alright, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Alright, now that we're done with the tutorial, we've got our first companion. We are gonna do our level up. So, some great things that we got. We got, you know, some more HP. We got an extra first level spell slot. We got Jack of all trades, which is a bard feature, which makes it so you add half of your proficiency bonus, so right now that is 1, to any ability checks that I am not proficient in, which is super handy. A lot of the times, well, especially for right now, whereas I dumped intelligence and strength, that basically means I have just a neutral value in those skills. We also got Song of Rest, which allows me to use an action to take a short rest. So this is normally you can only take 2 short rests per long rest in this game. Bards can take 3 because of this ability. So it's super handy, especially if you have a lot of characters that get things back on a short rest. We'll go into what short rests and long rests are eventually as well. So we have another skill slot, or spell slot. Spell to learn. I'll figure it out. Some good options. I think probably Fairy Fire. That is a good one. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is good though too. Thunderwave is pretty solid, but I'm not building this character for damage. Yeah, we're gonna go Fairy Fire. So I mentioned it earlier, known casters. So bards are known casters, which means they cannot otherwise change their spells except for right here on a level up. So if I wanted to, I could pick any of these 4 spells. Let's say we wanted to change Speak with Animals. Alright, so I'm losing Speak with Animals, and then I can gain any one of these spells in exchange. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to lose that spell, so... But that is something to note. And, like, if you are interested in Baldur's Gate 3 and kind of transitioning from that into tabletop for your first time, there is no respecking in tabletop. There's no way to just, I'll just reset my whole character and do this differently. This is the only way for known casters to change their spells in tabletop, is when they level up. But otherwise, we're pretty good here on the level up. So that's it for this character for now. So we'll just hit accept and move on. Now for Shadowheart. Shadowheart, I am completely respecking. So I don't really care what I take. Cure Wounds, I don't like that. I like Bless. Command is fine. Yeah, Guiding Bolt is pretty much going to be your real bread and butter for when you need to take something out with Shadowheart early game. And Shield of Faith will help keep people alive by increasing their armor class, which makes them harder to hit. Bless is also a buff that makes you have an easier time of hitting and assist your saving throws. So that's very nice as well. So we'll just take those. Clerics are prepared casters. So, like, So this is our prepared list here, and then but we still know all these other spells down here. So at any given point in time, I can just open the spellbook menu and switch out Blast for Bane, even though I don't have it currently selected. That's a benefit to prepared casters. And yeah, we're done with that. Oh, I forgot to go over I mean, I'm not really keeping her as Trickster or Triggerino main cleric, but she also got her Channel Divinity, which was Invoke Duplicity, which distracts your enemies with an illusion within 3 meters of the illusion. Attack rolls have advantage for you and your allies. It is Concentration, which basically when you concentrate on a spell, if you take any damage, you have to make a Constitution saving throw that is either difficulty check 10 or the damage you took, whichever is higher, lower? I can't remember right off. But anyway, if you fail the check, you stop concentrating on the spell and the spell ends. So, for Shield of Faith is another example. If you cast Shield of Faith, increases the target's armor class by 2. If you take damage and lose concentration, that target that you have with Shield of Faith on it is going to lose that 2 armor class. That's why concentration spells are usually really good, because if you lose concentration on them, it really sucks. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this video. We will be back again shortly with the next part, where hopefully we'll get some more companions and get some stuff rolling. And until next time, take care of yourself.